Yes. Welcome everyone around the world, and welcome my friends here for Satsang. I'm very happy to connect with you tonight again. And we're going to have a beautiful Sangha all around the world. And even though I'm sitting here with just 3 friends, there is many, many more that we feel connected. And as you may remember, from the empty heart, we are deeply, deeply connected all around the world. There is no separation. I hope you're all well, and I hope that most of you that are listening or being with me tonight, you are switching. So what is a big switch? The important switch is really from fear to love. And that's a very easy switch. Fear is kind of an old survival mechanism. And with the old survival mechanism, we are disconnecting from Source. We think we are separate, we think we have to survive, we think we have to fight, we think we have to kind of protect ourselves, we think we are kind of victims of a horrible virus, and our victim identity kind of gets really increased by the belief that we are separate. And all that is not true. The difficulty here really is that as long as we are living from fear, we are creating, how to say this, we are creating a climate of survival. And in that climate of survival, unfortunately, I said that last time already, our immune system goes down. And then, as much as the virus may affect the body, our thoughts, our beliefs, our fears, our survival instincts, our struggle, unfortunately also affects the body and mind. So these gatherings, for me, they are really, really important, because it's quite simple and easy to shift your attention from the fear about an unknown future, what's going to happen, into the heart, into now, into here, into something that I heard a few days ago being told by this Sadguru. I don't know, some of you may have seen that quote. He asked, "Did you wake up this morning?" And people say yes. And says, that means you're still alive, and that is enough reason to have a smile on your face. And then he says, well, you often want to look at the time. Now, what is the time now? Here it is 5 minutes past 7. That means you're still alive. That's another reason to have a smile on your face. There's so many reasons. And if you're already dead, then nobody bothers anyway. And you don't bother because you're already gone. So while you stay alive, why not feel the joy of it? Now, for the friends who are for the first time with me, or who haven't been to Satsang before, I have my dear friend Steve here, and he's reading all your comments. And if there's any question during my talk, or even later when we meditate, write the question, and if we're lucky, we can actually address it here in the satsang, so we can have a kind of a dialogue. Now, I was tuning in a little bit about what is essential today. What's the talk today? I never prepare it, but this time tonight it was kind of very strong coming. Many of you know maybe that I teach my favorite course for couples called the Tantra Alchemy for Couples, and I teach that in Bali. And I work a lot with couples, and it is all about making love. Now, we joked a little bit about during the coronavirus, so many people are in isolation. So many couples are caught in their own apartment. And there's a very beautiful possibility, instead of getting on each other's nerves, make love. Did you ever think about that? Receive each other. Open up to each other. You know? It's an incredible possibility, and it's the most beautiful. And when I talk about making love, I'm not talking about fucking. I'm talking about the energy exchange as we receive each other in presence that moves the first chakra energy, the root chakra energy, the sexual energy, and moves it up into sensitivity. Now this is for my brothers here, dear brothers, dear men. You know, we may have a habit of just pumping away and going for it. And this is more or less satisfying to release tension. But it's very dissatisfying for the woman. And it's also not satisfying for you. And what we can actually discover as you have time, and this is a super luxury you have in that retreat, that isolation with your beloved, if you are lucky enough to be with your beloved, is a few things that we really need to learn as men. And it's really more an unlearning. It is being present to the beauty of your woman and receive her. It's very easy for you to receive, you know, if you're a boy, maybe you receive the beauty of a motorbike. You look at the motorbike, you get all excited. I have 2 friends here who love motorbikes. Yeah? Now, why does it excite you so much? You receive some energy that you recognize as maybe bringing you into freedom, bringing you into excitement, bringing you into adventure. Well, I tell you, making love is a much bigger adventure. When you actually forget what you know about your woman, because you don't know, even if you've been together for 30 years, you cannot know her. She's a rare flower, she's absolutely unique. And if you take her for granted and think you know her, you already killed her. You couldn't receive her. So the invitation is, take your time, receive her. And then, you know, when you touch her, the tendency is we touch to want, we touch to get somewhere, we touch to have a goal that hopefully in the right moment she will let you in. Well, maybe be with her without a goal. Be with her and feel her, drink her, taste her, smell her, receive her. Let her beauty, her skin, let her body open you. And if you have heard my teachings about the polarities of the chakras, this is a little bit scary for the male. Because if you as a male open up, you become very vulnerable. But you will be so much compensated through the love that your woman feels when she is received. Because then she can breathe. then she doesn't feel overwhelmed, then she doesn't feel possessed, then she doesn't feel kind of crushed into a greedy male energy, but she feels received by a present male. Do you get a sense of that? It's very subtle, but it's very possible because you have time now. You don't have to get stressed about getting early to work because many of you don't have work. I'm sorry about that. I don't have work except these Friday evenings. And it's a gift if you take it. And then something really important happens. You could say the second chakra, the lower belly, our feeling side as man, is in the lower belly and in the heart. And if you look at the concept of polarities, this is our receptive pole. And wherever we are receptive, we are actually shaky, we are insecure, we don't know, we are not home here. In our positive pole, first chakra, and our lingam and balls, and in our third chakra and our power chakra, we are positive. So we are feeling more at home here. In our feeling side, in our heart, we feel very vulnerable. But I tell you, when you allow your vulnerability, your woman becomes ecstatic because she is positive in the heart. She's positive in her feeling. Her emotions keep changing. Drives every man crazy when you try to control it. It's like swimming in a wild ocean when you don't try to control it. It's so nourishing. But you need to experience that. So before you make love, I'm reminded of one of the sayings from Osho that confused me very much at the beginning, where he says, never make love when you're very excited. Make love when you're totally present, when you see each other, feel each other, play with each other, when you're here with each other. And don't have a goal. This is not about ejaculation. This is not about orgasm. This is not about the great goal that everybody tries to achieve and then creates a feather of, oh, look, I'm a good lover. Forget the good lover thing. Be with her. Be there. And the reward is infinite. Because when her heart opens and she pours it out to you just because it's her nature, when her feeling body opens, it's better than ice cream. Yeah. So my invitation to you, especially as couples, is don't discuss things. And this is for my sisters, for the beautiful women here. Don't tell him how to be. You relax into your own beauty. You relax into your own sensitivity. You relax into enjoying that you're a sensitive, feeling, smelling, tasting, touching, feminine energy with a loving, caring heart. And so meditate before you make love. Play with each other's body before you make love. Sing with each other before you make love. Dance with each other before you make love. Have a walk here in beautiful Byron Bay. Go surfing before you make love, for example. Many possibilities to activate your own energy. And when both are really alive and sharing the joy of being together and sharing life, then very slowly move into sensuousness. Don't put it in right away. The man wants to put it in right away. It's natural because we are at home here. It's our first chakra. We are positive. So the moment we have an erection, you want to go in there. Be patient. It's worth it. There comes a moment where as you become more receptive, where you know that your woman is ready. She may, on the surface, still resist, because that's just what she learns. But eventually, there's a beauty, and you will know when she lets you in. And then don't go for a goal. Don't go for anything later. You can make love, if you're in the coronavirus retreat, you can make love for hours without a goal. And you will see that more and more, the longer you are together, there's an energetic healing energy that moves, and that energy doesn't move immediately. It moves from the first to the second. It moves into sensitivity. It moves into joy and power. It moves into the heart. It moves into creativity. It moves into clarity, and it moves into oneness. It's just one energy that can move from the roots to the crown. And it's not difficult. It's not esoteric. You don't have to be a super spiritual being. It is simply inbuilt in every man and woman. And what is really important is, don't go into your mind. Don't tell each other how they should be. Experience what is here, moment by moment by moment. And you will be compensated. Because what happens is, you're naturally moving your energy from survival. How to say this? First three chakras are survival chakras. So the root chakra is physical survival. But when your sexual energy opens up, it's not about survival anymore. It's about aliveness. Because we are already alive. The Baba says, when you're awake, it means you're alive. That's enough to put a smile on your face. So naturally the energy moves from survival to aliveness, from traumatized shock energy in the second chakra that needs protection because everything is so dangerous, into a flowing sensitivity. And from the need to control in the third chakra, the need to compare and judge and be jealous and all that stuff that gets fueled by your stories, you enter the joy. You enter the joy of movement, of action, of expansion, of power that is not a power over somebody, it's the power within you. And you will feel that every cell begins to expand inside, and you feel vitalized and vibrant and open. And that is the heart. And when the energy moves into the heart, who bothers about fear? There is no fear. There is love. There is care. There is gentleness. There's joy. There's humor. There's an exchange. And it doesn't stay with the heart. So, a few rules. No talking, no discussing who is right or wrong, being totally present. What is really important is sometimes just rest. Even if the mind says there's nothing happening, let nothing happen and fall into that deep relaxation. And you will find that you may even fall asleep for a few minutes. If one of you falls asleep, the other, please don't get angry. It's fantastic because the other relaxes. And you can be present when the other relaxes. And you will find just this moment of dipping into the source, the energy will come back fresh, new. So you can make love for hours. Can you relate to that? Or am I just fantasizing? It's my experience. So I'm not kind of offering a dream here. It's a reality. It's a possibility. And now many of you have the time to explore this. And then when the whole lockdown is finished, you come and join me for the Tantra Alchemy for Couples in Bali. In October we still have a few places, and I hope that we can come all together to Bali. Otherwise it will be next year. But it's never, it's never too late. But don't wait till then. Start practicing now. I didn't know that I'm going to talk all about that, but seems to be the topic of today. And is there any question that came so far? No question, you're all with me. That's fantastic. So what I'm trying to say, from an energy level, wherever our attention goes is where our energy flows. So take the attention away from fear. And the beauty is you can very simply bring your attention to your heart. Try that right now. Just take a few deep breaths. Don't worry about any thoughts or any feelings that may be connected to fear. Just bring your attention to your heart. Feel your heart. Maybe the heart feels a little painful. Maybe the heart feels touched. Maybe from whatever I said, maybe you start comparing, maybe it's not happening for you like this. Don't worry about it. Bring your attention to the heart. Feel your heart. Take a few deep breaths, and in the in-breath, feel your heart expanding. In the out-breath, feel your heart relaxing. Expanding and relaxing. And you will find naturally there is a natural sense of peace. And the peace is not dependent whether your heart is open or not. Your heart may be in pain, that's no problem. Pain plus space is a space of unconditional acceptance. And you are that which is aware of all experience, which means you are the unconditional acceptance. It's not something that we can do through the mind. It is happening when we shift our attention. So there is this institute called Heart Math in America, and they have found that these simple attunements to the heart actually creates an energy field, like a magnetic rod. We are energy emitters, transmitters. And the moment we meet somebody who is in the heart starts resonating with each other's heart. And we are actually creating an energy field that expands up to 9 meters around us. So if you come into a room with heart-centered friends, you will feel, something is relaxing, because your heart resonates with your friends' hearts. And it's a silent climate, and it's very tangible. We are having a lighthouse walk almost every morning, and it's very interesting because sometimes there's not so many people this time that are walking because it's a lockdown, but still there are a few, and whoever you meet has a different energy, and you feel it so strongly when there's a heart energy meeting you, even if it's only a very subtle smile. It's like, it's like a brother, it's like, a fellow human that is here. And then you meet all these people that are kind of with their earphones and listen to some music, and they're not even there. There's the most beautiful nature, and the ocean is so wild, and the dolphins are jumping. And they don't see it because they listen to some stuff to occupy the mind. So it's very helpful if you are not afraid to be empty. Because unless you are empty, you cannot be filled by the ocean, be filled by the air, be filled by the blue sky, be filled by the waves. I don't want to make you jealous, but we are living here in such an incredible place, and there's a few friends probably online with me tonight that would agree we are just so fortunate. But the beautiful thing is wherever you are, even if you're confined in an apartment, your inner being is like the sky. That's why meditation is so important. Then you can meet the inner sky. If you have a chance to go outside and see the outer sky, great. If not, meet the inner sky, meet the inner beauty, meet the song of your heart. I almost said, meet the song of your pussy. Forgive me. But it just came, we've been talking about lovemaking. Everything has a song. The song of your lingam. The song of your heart. Yes?
We've got a question.
Oh, a question, yes.
From Maria.
Maria, hi Maria. Welcome.
And it relates to the Tantra you were talking about.
Yes.
Is there a way to play with the energy, even if one is by oneself with no partner?
Of course. Of course. But it's a little bit more tricky because with the partner the polarities are stronger. But you see, for example, when you take a walk and you see a beautiful tree, and rather than your energy going out to the tree, like this is how usually the energy moves, it goes out to the object, you receive the tree in yourself. You receive a beautiful flower in you. And then you're actually touching the same feeling that you have when you're with a lover. It's like, because the joy of seeing a beautiful tree is not in the tree, it's in you. The joy of touching your lover is not in the lover, it's in you. Now, it's maybe not so romantic when you touch your lover and say, I'm so happy that you are the excuse for me to feel all that sensuousness. But it's possible with a tree, it's possible with a flower, it's possible with a pet, it's possible with the sky, feel the sky, feel the space, feel, here it's night now, and the first thing we saw is Venus on the sky, and feel it inside. That awakens the inner sensuousness. And it's actually one of the 112 meditation techniques from the Vigyambara of Tantra. And there is these tantric meditations when you are with the lover, as your senses are shaken like leaves, which is kind of when you're close to your lover and your whole energy system is so awake and you shake. Then enter the shaking. That's one technique. And the second technique is, and even if the beloved is not here, remember the shaking. That's the beauty, because the mind, when the mind moves into a memory, the memory is three-dimensional. It also includes a feeling. And then you can recreate the feeling, maybe through a picture. You look at Osho's picture and you see these bubbles of colored balls entering your heart, creating an immense joy. Because everything we ever experience has its source inside. You understand that? I want you to try something. Wherever you're sitting right now, just touch the cushion or the chair or the mattress or where you're sitting. Can you feel the touch? Now, where is the feeling happening? Is it in the couch or in you? I hear my friends are pointing to themselves. It's in you. Now we have the sounds of the night animals. We have some frogs here. Or maybe you have a traffic sound, or maybe the fridge makes a sound. Now become aware of the sounds. And now I want to ask you, where is the hearing happening? Is the hearing happening in that which makes the sound, or is it happening in you? And please don't believe me, check it out. You will find that the hearing is happening in you. Now touch your hand very, very softly, like you touch a lover. Very, very gently, where you find the sensitivity. Now where is that sensitivity happening? It's happening in you. Is there any outside world? All sensory experience, seeing, okay, you see something. You all see, perhaps, especially if you have a video on, you see Osho's picture here. Where is the sense of seeing happening, in the picture or in you? We never thought about it. It's all in you. If you like the picture, where's the liking happening? In you or in the picture? It's in you. If the dislike is happening, if you think, no, these colors are not my thing, where is it happening? In the picture or in you? You will find the whole world happens in you. And that's really good news. Because then we can shift our attention to that which expands us, because the expansion is in you. And eventually you will find you are as vast as the whole universe. Because everything that ever happened happens in the space that you are, in that which is aware. Now that may sound very profound for some of you. Maybe it may be the first time you hear something like this. I really invite you not to believe me, but to actually test it. And it's such an obvious recognition. And the beauty is, the more you allow that which is to happen in you, the more spacious you are, and the more love there is. Until ultimately you will find that I am love. And this I am is not personal. The I am is the same in you. You are love. And that's why, dear Maria, you can share it with anyone, with anything. You can share it with the rock. You can share it with the light of the candle. You can share it, and if you're lucky, you can share it with a partner, with an alive being. Many people have pets because pets don't have a mind, they cannot discuss. They're always happy, especially dogs. They're always happy to see you. So they reflect the love that you are without interference of the mind. The master is back. How beautiful. And then it gets more challenging if you have a human being who has her or his own emotions and his own belief systems and his own story, and story probably of trauma and difficulty. That's okay. The moment you are love, that love holds yourself and holds the other just the way he or she is. Does it make sense? Does it, dear Maria, can you relate to what I'm saying? She said yes. Great. Very good. So now, is there any other question, or shall we meditate a little? because it's all about meditation. Okay. So let's sit for about 20 minutes. And for those of you who haven't been with me or who haven't meditated or who think that you cannot meditate, it's impossible, because meditation is simply a space where you allow everything to be as it is. You allow your inner experience to be what it is. You don't interfere, you don't reject, you don't attach, you just allow what is. What could be more simple? You allow your body to be what it is. You allow your excuse me. You allow your scratchy throat to be what it is. You allow everything to be as it is. You allow your body sensations. Maybe the body has some tensions or pain. Don't struggle with it. Let it be. Allow it. You allow your thoughts. Don't try to have no thoughts. That's impossible. The moment you resist your thoughts, you're going to have many thoughts. So allow your thoughts. It's not your business what thoughts move through your mind. Did you ever think of that? Thoughts come and go. You just allow them, because you are that which is aware. That's what meditation is. So you cannot be a good meditator, or a bad meditator, or a right meditator, or a wrong meditator. But what is helpful is to be still, to let the body be still. It's almost like sometimes we could say meditation is like telling the dog to sit. You're telling your body to sit still, without tension, without trying, without moving. And in that stillness of the body, there's an awareness emerging, there's this space emerging that is simply allowing everything to be as it is. Shall we try that? So, we know this every evening when we fall asleep. You know, even if you have the biggest worries, when you fall asleep, you forget everything. And you forget it because you allow everything to be as it is. Then sleep finds you. And the same in meditation. As you allow everything to be as it is, meditation finds you. And that's the only reason why it's helpful to sit with your spine upright, because you will find meditation and sleep is very close together. It is just that in meditation there is this silent flame of watchfulness, which is simply a space, the space that is aware of everything that happens. And there comes a moment that we cannot control, where awareness itself, that space itself, becomes aware of itself. Usually we are aware of objects, and we will allow all the objects to come and go, like thoughts and feelings and body and sensations. And when there is nothing to reject or attach anymore, that space of awareness finds itself. It becomes aware of itself. And that is the most important moment in your whole life. You cannot create it, but it happens. So you can close your eyes. It's helpful if you sit with your spine upright and yet totally relaxed. And just enjoy being silent. So from that depths inside, you can take a deeper breath. It's almost like, we've been going deep, like under the ocean, into the depths of our being. Now we surface for a few moments, for a while. It's almost like we coming to the surface to take a few deep breaths of air, so that later we go even deeper in the nothingness of meditation. So for now, maybe you want to take a deeper breath and stretch your body a little bit, creating a little bit more space. Like in the morning, coming out of one space into the body, into the aliveness of this moment, and check, am I alive right now? And when you find you are, that's enough reason to have a smile. Life sustains us in this moment, like every moment. Life is here, so rich and full. Everybody's situation may be different, but life is one. And somehow meditation is just such a beautiful reminder, a reminder to look at the essential, to look at that which is always here, which is our aliveness, our presence, our willingness to be here. Perhaps our gratitude that life sustains us. One of the beautiful aspects of the lockdown that many of us experience is there's not much else to do, so we can bring more and more attention to the simplicity of simply being alive each moment. What a miracle. It's not our own doing, it is the support of the whole existence keeping us alive. So, to kind of make it a little bit more of a dialogue, maybe there's anything you would like to comment that Steve can read, or anything you may want to share or ask, anything that comes up for you, around meditation. Eventually meditation needs to come into everything that you do. And it's very simple, it is simply being present to what you do. And you will find that the moment we are present, we are not a step ahead to where we want to be. There is a byproduct of joy, perhaps, of gratitude, of satisfaction. We usually look for these things later, once we have fulfilled a desire, once we have managed something that we always wanted to do, once we have enough money, once we have the right relationship. No, it's always now. And the recognition that life sustains us. Yes, Steve is giving me a sign. There's a question or
a question of two parts.
Okay.
And the question has to do with the unknown. And
yes.
the coronavirus is this unknown thing.
Yes.
Right? So why are we so afraid of the unknown?
Yes.
not just with the coronavirus, but typically why are we so afraid of the unknown?
Yes.
And then what can happen when you embrace the unknown, when you accept the unknown?
Yes. Well, the unknown is it can become your closest friend. Why is maybe the wrong question, because who knows why are we afraid of the unknown? The situation is that anything that is not this moment, anything that is coming is unknown. Always. It only becomes a known when it's already past, so it's not real anymore. This moment is unknown. Why are we afraid of the unknown? Is because we have derived a sense of self from a mental concept that includes past and future. We made a sense of self from the story, my story. How attached are we to my story? And then we project that story in the future and are afraid whether we can keep that future so that we keep knowing who we are. And the fear is of the ego, because the ego cannot relate to the unknown. It can only relate to that which it knows already. So the ego equals past. And this moment equals not knowing. And then the mind the collective mind now has created an incredible story. Now a virus is a fantastic symbol because you cannot see it. We don't run around with electronic microscopes to see what is around us that maybe can jump on us and make our body sick. So the virus is a wonderful symbol for the unknown. And now it affects the whole collective consciousness of humanity in every country. And the funny thing is, I don't know about you, but you may have read, or at least I have read, many very scientific researches that actually point towards the fact that maybe the coronavirus is not such a special thing. It's like a usual flu virus, just a little bit more, it creates a little bit more people that are sick. So forgive me if you are sick, no, it's very real for you. And many people have died. But if you look at the level of death in a normal flu epidemic, it's the same thing. Actually, in the last flu epidemic, more people died than now. At least, I don't know, I'm just referring to what I read, than now with the coronavirus. But somehow, I don't know why, existence has brought up this story now that affects the whole humanity, that affects the whole world. And the unknown, that dark black hole where we don't know who we are, where we don't know if it catches us, where we don't know what's happening, that's a reality every moment. We're just walking around blind. You could walk out of the door and a branch falls on your head. We have these eucalyptus trees here that drop branches, and this branch is enough to kill 12 people. If it falls down in the wrong moment and you are that, well, the unknown is finished, you're dead. It is just that now the virus is something that makes it so clear for everyone that everything comes and goes. Everything in our human existence comes and goes. And when we have created a sense of self from something that comes and goes, which includes our emotions, includes our possessions, and includes our identifications, and it includes our body. We have to be afraid. And you will find that every fear is the fear of the me being annihilated. And every meditator knows and has discovered that this me doesn't even exist. That what we derive a sense of self from comes and goes. Body comes and goes. Feelings comes and go. Money comes and goes. Youth comes and goes. Success comes and goes. Failure comes and goes. Everything in experience comes and goes. And if you extend it a little bit longer, even the Earth, this wonderful planet, this spaceship we are zooming through the universe with, comes and goes. It has been created and it will disappear. And the moment we identify with it and think that's me, there is fear. So I would recommend dare. You see, and this is the beauty of adventure. Adventure is a conscious movement into the unknown. I've been loving adventure. You know, we've been climbing mountains or skiing or sailing or surfing or something. You know, when you go surfing, for example, surfing, it's very close to me because I almost go surfing every day. Now, you don't know if you can catch the wave or not. You may kind of feel very, very successful in one wave, and the next wave just bounces you back and forth and hits you with the surfboard in your jaw, or somebody 2 days ago just the surfboard got loose and it hit me full on my pelvis. It hurts like hell, and it's unknown, it's surprising, it's, you know, it cannot be premeditated. So the mind wants to know so that it feels safe, and the fact is life in this human form is absolutely unsafe, which is so exciting. It just keeps us just in the now. It keeps us, there's nothing else, there's this moment. But this moment is so scary for those of us who are afraid of the unknown, so we don't want to be here. Many of us use this moment to quickly reach a better illusory moment later. Do you have that? It's like, okay, now it's okay, but what about later? Now it's okay, but what about if I get the virus? Well, who knows? This moment is unknown. Be an adventurer. Allow it. It is, you see, life and death is so close. No? And in the face of death, which is a symbol of the coronavirus because it has killed many people, in the face of death, you become aware how precious life is. And again, it is 8:10. Are you alive right now? That's enough reason to have a big smile on your face, because we don't know about the next moment. And the news and the media, they make the now into our enemy and create kind of a horror story about the future so that everyone can be controlled. In the moment, we are voluntarily controlled by all our governments that don't allow us to go out, and we are happy for that because it keeps us safe. What an illusion. Now we can play with it, we can cooperate with it, that's okay. It's a good exercise. But what is really important is, I don't know. And that, it's kind of, we all carry a super trauma since childhood, because you should know. I remember when I was studying medicine because I wanted to help people and I wanted to kind of be a good doctor. And so I really studied for a very, very good exam. So I had one of the best medical exams in the university. And I was scared like hell to be let loose to patients, because I knew I don't know anything. I may have learned all this stuff, but how can I know the patient? How can I know what, ticks this person's life? How can I know? So I was so afraid not to know. And then as a doctor, then you learn the pretension, you learn to pretend that you know everything. Where deep down you know that you know nothing, that everyone that you meet is a total mystery. And you need to meet the mystery to be able to resonate and actually attune to the person through the attunement, a healing may be possible. But not through what you know. Through what you know can be a scaffolding. But the way I have learned medicine is horrible. It's like, the modern medicine, there's a very beautiful part in it, but it's a war medicine. It's a medicine against something. Now the existence is not at war with itself. The coronavirus is part of the oneness of all things, like everything else. And if we use it rightly, it can make us aware of that which is always here, which is our true nature. Can make us aware of our deep connectedness, which is always here. Can make us aware that we are also connected to this Mother Earth. And Mother Earth right now has a little break to breathe, has some fresh air, even in Milan and in New Delhi and wherever the smog was the thickest. Now there's an incredible opening. But the media are not interested in that. The media are interested in keeping us afraid. It's a strange setup. And for me, I think the media are very helpful because they only point to one side. But in spite of the media, we're all alive right now. Can you find that smile in your face? This moment, there's no reason to be sad or anxious, because right now there's life. Next moment, who knows? So with that recognition, perhaps there's a little bit more gratitude for what is now. So why are we afraid? This is my explanation. It is because we are living in a mistaken identity. We have started to believe that I am my thoughts, or I am my money. Look at the stock market is in such a mess, and the banks are in such a mess, and the whole financial system is in a total mess. So everyone who is identified with money will freak out. It's totally unnecessary. We're still alive. I hope that helps. Yeah? Is there any other question? I know that what I'm saying here may be kind of very strange for the new friends that kind of are first time in satsang. But what to do? No? We all know the truth. We may have covered it very beautifully, but we were born with the truth. And then we just learned many lies. And now we are waking up beyond the lie. No? And obviously humanity as a whole needed that big hammer that includes the whole world, that includes every country. But how we deal with it is our own responsibility. So my suggestion is keep yourself in elevated states of emotion. Keep yourself happy. Keep yourself present. Keep yourself loving. And you will find Corona is a gift, because it gives us the possibility to stop and to reflect and to be here. Is there anything else you would like me to talk about here? Then you need to write a note. Otherwise we can dive even deeper into not knowing. And we can use the spaciousness, the blackness, the infinite void of darkness to explore the depths of not knowing, and to heal the body-mind that appears to be limited in our limitless consciousness. Oh, I get a sign here.
Can you repeat the question? Because they can't hear me.
Oh, okay, okay.
Then I have a question.
Yeah, okay. And who is it?
This is Ajita.
Ajita, hi Ajita, konnichiwa. Nice to hear you. You're in Japan right now, right?
She would like to know about your thinking about 5G. Is it harmful for us? Repeat the question.
Okay, your question is, can you talk about 5G? Is it harmful for us? Well, not only 5G is harmful for us. 4G, 3G, all Gs are harmful for us. All Gs are harmful. You can see it. The best way to recognize it is when I watch my little grandson, he is 6. When he has spent an hour on his phone or on his father's phone playing a game, he becomes absolutely impossible. He becomes cranky, he becomes demanding, he becomes emotional, he becomes a nightmare. And then when he's how to say, after the cold turkey, when the phone is being taken away and he has enough time to recover, then he's incredibly sweet and playful, and he is creative in himself. So the obsession with the phone is one thing. And the second thing is the EMF, the electromagnetic frequencies of even 3G and 4G are actually scientifically proven. They create DNA alterations. If I have my mobile phone on in my pocket, and this is 4G or 3G, I get a hip ache. If I hold my mobile phone near my ear aches. Now, I don't need to be a very big scientist to know that this is not normal. This is not what's supposed to happen. Now, the danger with 5G is that it's a much shorter frequency. It's a much shorter vibration. And 5G, since it's a short wavelength, needs towers every 100 meters. Now, can you imagine? I have been running a course in Norway with a mobile tower on the roof of the house, which I didn't know and I didn't see. And after every day of the course, latest at lunchtime, I had such a headache. And I said, I never had a headache. What is happening? And then a friend said, well, it could be the tower on the roof. I said, is there a tower on the roof? I went outside and there was these huge antennas, 4G. But I was running a meditation course right underneath that antenna, and I felt incredibly disturbed. You know? Now the 5G, it apparently, this is what I read, I don't know if this is true. Apparently the 5G depletes the oxygen through the vibrational field of the electromagnetic waves. And then that is why there is a correlation between the detrimental effect of the coronavirus and 5G, which has happened in Milan, funny enough, and in Wuhan, where most people died with the coronavirus. And what did they die of? A lack of oxygen, of breathing difficulties. Now, don't quote me on this, I just read this. It could be part of the, part of the collective panic, but there is a reality to it. I also kind of saw a very credible report from a German scientist that had explored the effect of the electromagnetic waves from mobile phones in a remote valley of southern Bavaria. So this valley did not have a mobile tower. And then when the mobile tower came, it came near a school, on the roof of a school. And in front of the school was an old oak tree, maybe a few hundred years old. And a few months after that tower was established, half of the tree, and this is 4G, half of the tree died. And the pupils that were very kind of more adaptable and relaxed in school began to have many different symptoms, concentration difficulties, and so on, a lot of things, just through a mobile tower being very near. And this is 4G. Now, 5G, we are in an amazing place here. Our Shire has managed to stop 5G here. So far, we didn't allow the mobile phone companies to actually put 5G in Byron Bay into action. Now, I also heard that one of the countries in Europe, I think it's Denmark, don't quote me, has refused 5G. I also heard that in America, it's a nice story, I don't know if it's true, but in America, wherever some influential politicians are living, like in Florida, there's an area in Miami where there's some famous politicians living. There's no 5G in that area. Why? Because the politicians probably knew that it's detrimental, so they managed to keep it away. But other areas where people are uninformed, it is there. Now, all this is, you have to take it with a grain of salt, because I read it, I don't know whether it's true or not. But I know that I get joint ache when I have my phone on my body, and that is enough for me to know that 5G is even much, much worse than that. Because it directly affects our brain. So we may see more autism, we may see more mental illnesses, we may see many things that are then discovered. Because the interesting part is, I don't know about Japan, but nowhere the phone companies have come out with a scientific research that these electromagnetic waves are harmless, or research that these electromagnetic waves are harming. It's crazy, isn't it? So yes, Ajita, thanks God there's more and more things that are being developed to protect yourself from, if you're living in a city with 5G, there are, for example, mosquito-like structures that you can put over your bed and under the mattress that block off the electromagnetic waves. But if you're sensitive, there's so many people nowadays that are really sensitive to this. Now the unfortunate thing is that, I don't know if that's true, but that they are shooting 20,000 satellites into the cosmos to beam 5G from the from the space, so that you can even have a mobile phone in the Sahara, for example. Crazy. I don't know. So if you find a way to avoid 5G, great. If you don't find a way to protect yourself. And the correlation with coronavirus and 5G and the how you call it, pneumonia can make sense. Because scientifically, apparently, it does, this wavelength does something to the oxygen molecule. Okay, we're living in a crazy time, but you see, it's so extreme that we need to wake up. We need to wake up to our own responsibility. We need to drop the idea that somebody else is responsible for how we live our life in which society. And there are many very beautiful movements towards that. Because there's also some very big on the level of, with corona, on the level of vaccinations. So we are all responsible to actually act according to the truth that we know from inside. We cannot only rely on outer media truth, because the media is not interested in truth. The media is interested in fear. And why? Because through fear we can be controlled. And we are responsible for that. So wake up. Let's wake up. Let's wake up to who we truly are. Let's wake up to love. Let's wake up to consciousness itself. And sometimes the crisis needs to be so strong that there's no other way than waking up. Which is funny, because if you look at all in the past that woke up, like Jesus or Socrates or other people, they all were in a crisis. Poor Jesus was hanging on the cross. I mean, what more crisis can you have? That's when he woke up. So we're all hanging on the cross. So it's time to wake up. Time to resurrect. Yeah? Okay. Now, the last 15 minutes, I want to guide us again into the heart transformation meditation that was originally discovered by Atisha. And it's a beautiful meditation that helps us very personally into healing, into the possibility that we can heal from fear, and we can heal from all these anxieties that the virus and the human situation provokes right now. So you can close your eyes, and you can just bring your whole attention to your heart again. Maybe you want to touch your heart with one of your hands, or with both hands, and feel your heart. You can start with the physical body. Feel the center of your chest and allow it to be what it is. Maybe it's tense. Maybe it feels open. Maybe there's a subtle ache. Maybe there's a joy. Maybe there's an emotion, a feeling. Maybe you are touched. Now allow each in-breath to touch the heart from inside. And allow each out-breath to be a letting go into the heart. And there, since we talked about the unknown, you can let go into the unknown in the heart, to that space behind the known experience. So with each in-breath, you expand the experience of this moment. And with each out-breath, you let go into the heart, into the space that opens there. That is like, it's almost like a journey through all the layers of our personality into the heart. And as we let go deeper, we let go deeper than thoughts. And the thoughts can be there. And we let go into the heart deeper than feelings. And feelings can continue. And we can let go deeper into the heart than body sensations, and deeper than the breath, and deeper than the heartbeat. Until we find that we can go deeper than all experiences. And we are still here. But what is this I that is deeper than all experiences? It's like a vast space. What in Zen, in Japan, they call it the empty heart. And that empty space that we uncover here is infinite. It has no limits. And we may have never thought about it, that what we call I am, each time we say I, we're actually referring to infinite space. That's why we can say, I am you. I am the space for all experience. And we find it in the heart. So like this, we discover that the heart is a passage. And we can use that insight for a deep healing of the body-mind. So any suffering you're aware of right now in yourself, any hurt, any pain, any trauma, any difficulty you're dealing with, you can invite, riding on the in-breath, inviting it into the heart. Let it flow through that open channel of the heart and dissolve in the inner empty space, in the inner empty sky. It's just like the clouds dissolve on a sunny day. The sky is always here. And then the out-breath can carry the blessings of space, of peace, of silence, of love, back into the body-mind, healing, touching those places that were occupied by suffering. So any fear, any guilt, any shame, any insecurity, let it ride on the in-breath, flow through the heart and dissolve in the inner emptiness. And the out-breath can carry the blessings of peace, of healing, of love back into the body-mind. Any hurt, any fear, any trauma, any deep, deep pain, allow it to ride on the in-breath. Allow it to enter the heart. Don't resist it. Let it come in. But don't hold it in the heart. Let it flow through the channel of the heart into the empty sky. And here it all naturally dissolves. Just like even the thickest thunderclouds dissolve as the sun comes back. And the out-breath carry the blessings of peace, of love, of silence, of healing, back into the body-mind. And a few more breaths, absorbing, inviting any suffering, and breathing out blessings. Now, for those of you who feel ready, we can extend the heart to friends and to family, to people close to us. There's a lot of suffering around us. And in the empty heart we are all one. That's why it's possible to absorb into your own heart the suffering of your friends, of your family. Allow it to ride on the in-breath. Enter the heart, flow through the heart, and dissolve in the inner sky. And then the out-breath can carry the blessings of peace, of healing, of love, of care back to your friends and family. Touching them where healing is needed. Breathing in any suffering that you know, that you're aware of in your friends and family. Letting it dissolve in the empty heart. It's natural, you don't do it, it's happening. Breathing out blessings and healing and love and care. Breathing in suffering. Breathing out blessings. Breathing in suffering. Breathing out blessings. And you will find that who you truly are has never been touched by any suffering. You are as vast as the sky. And with this insight, if you feel ready, only if you feel ready, you can extend the heart to all beings. There's a lot of suffering around the earth. You can allow it to flow like a stream into your heart, flow through the heart, and evaporate in the empty sky of the heart. It's simply natural. And the out-breath can carry the blessings of peace, of healing, of love, of care, back to all beings. Now it's important that you know that you don't need to hold any of the suffering that you inhale. You don't need to hold it in your emotional body. You don't need to hold it anywhere. You let it flow through your heart and dissolve in emptiness. And the out-breath can carry the blessings of peace, of love, of healing, back to all beings, like a breeze of grace touching all beings. And a few more deep breaths, joining all these Buddhist practitioners around the world that are sharing this meditation with the world every day, like a deep prayer for the wellness of all beings. May all beings be free of pain and suffering. May all beings be free of fear. May all beings be happy and recognize who they truly are as love and peace. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Yes, dear friends, thank you so much for being with me, being in this amazing Sangha that kind of is held all around the world. And I can feel many of you, I can feel you so much. It's such a beautiful field. So I'm very grateful for this possibility. So we will meet again, if you like, next Friday. And in the meantime, you may want to, check this meditation out in this evening satsang, and in the last satsangs. You will find it on the Facebook, on my Facebook page. But you will also find it, at least the last two ones, and I will try that tomorrow also, as a link for YouTube. So you can also go into my YouTube channel, which is called Rahasya. And I would very much recommend, if that Atisha meditation of absorbing suffering and breathing out blessings appeals to you, to actually do that every day. It's healing for you, and as we are all connected, it's healing for the world, and it can open a whole new dimension. And as many more people meditate, who knows what's possible on this wonderful planet, in this wonderful life. So thank you so much for being with us here, and much, much love and blessings to all of you. Namaste.